understand the scientific controls that manipulate this technological dictatorship of the mind are afraid of the human species. They know the truth. They understand the wider possibilities of humanity. They know that our species is stronger when it's under adversity. They understand that we need to be challenged. And instead they create a bed of decadence and evil and sell it to you like it's risky and cool and risque and avant-garde to be decadent and destructive and to not care about your fellow humans, because they want to isolate you so they can control you and dominate every facet of your life.
Like the rest of my family, I was born into bondage, totally unaware of the world outside. It still puzzles me though, how growing up imprisoned in a dark cave could feel so natural and unquestionable. We were guarded and controlled from the dark corners of a cave by the shadow masters. Afraid of the light and of ever losing control, the masters were doing everything in their power to keep us from ever realizing our situation or the true nature of the world. We were carefully chained and kept in the darkness, but the masters had understood that chains were no good in the long run. We always figured out ways to escape them. I guess it's in the human nature to want to go beyond every obstacle. Having extensive knowledge of the human nature, the masters knew that the key to obedience and total control was in manipulating our minds. These masters of deception elaborated a mind control system based on visual input to the brain. They already had us sitting with our backs against the wall. Behind the wall, the masters built a fire and then used the light of the fire to project shadow images on the cave walls. The moving images grabbed our attention, and soon we were completely absorbed by them. Not long thereafter, our entire lives revolved around the shadow play. It had become a natural part of life. We were unwitting victims of deception, caught in endless debates and sometimes arguments about the meanings of the shapes, all while our masters enjoyed total and nearly effortless control. But the destiny of our controllers was already sealed by their arrogance. They were so sure of the effectiveness of their mind control system that they didn't even bother to chain us anymore. Instead, we were programmed that standing up was the most dangerous thing, and that only by kneeling or sitting we would be safe. The masters were looking down on humans, regarding us as nothing more than mindless beasts. Little did they know about the true potential of humankind. I had always felt something like a splinter in my mind, an inner voice telling me that there must be more to life and reality than the limited cave and the endless shadow play. One day, my desire for expanded awareness and freedom overwhelmed the system. Directed by my inner guidance, I managed to climb to the entrance of a cave. Upon exiting, the sun blinded me. It was a shocking experience, but slowly my eyes were adopting to the brightness above ground. I then discovered the incredible beauty and variety of the world outside. My awareness was vastly expanded by the new and much deeper level of reality. Full of joy, I rushed back into the cave in order to free the rest of the prisoners. On my way back, I saw the fire and the shapes that were used to project the images on the walls. The manipulation now looked very obvious. With great excitement, I started explaining the newfound information to my fellow prisoners. I was shocked, however, to discover that they were not interested in hearing my stories. My findings were met with irritation and sometimes with outright anger. How did I dare to make such claims about the shadows that were so real? The irritation and anger was soon replaced by laughter and ridicule. When finally everyone had agreed about my questionable mental state, they continued their discussions about the play of shadows where they had left it. I was pondering why the attempt to help my fellow humans had caused such strong reactions, when the prisoner next to me started whispering in my ear. She told me that she could somehow feel that I was right, but that she was afraid of losing her status as shadow interpreter, afraid of realizing hard truths, and afraid of what others might think. I then told her about the inner peace and empowerment that had come to me once I had overcome my fears, accepted the now, and opened my mind to all possibility. By then, the Shadow Masters had realized what was going on. In panic, they started projecting hypnotic messages in order to keep more people from awakening. But I was determined to stop their crazy work and decided to use the control system to free my fellow prisoners. I was accompanied by another child who also had seen through the manipulation. Together we created figures and shapes for projecting mind-freeing messages on the walls of a cave. Among many things, we explained the hidden power structure with a few Shadow Masters at the top of the pyramid, vastly outnumbered by the prisoners at the bottom. We explained how the game could change by simply standing up. The spell started breaking, and the other prisoners began questioning their own beliefs. Soon they managed to override the vicious mind programming and finally stand up. Now that we all had turned our backs to the theater and stopped fighting among ourselves, the Shadow Masters were powerless. We stood strong and united in our common quest for liberty, and could soon see the bright light pouring in from the cave entrance. reborn out of a mind prison into a new existence of peace, prosperity, and expanded awareness. We were now out of reach from the shadow masters, who could not stand the light, nor enjoy the beauty of our amazing planet.
This is a message to the future, a message to free humanity. We have become anesthetized by all the entertainment and the food and the drugs. We have to rediscover the fact that this is a human experience, a struggle by our species to survive and to grow and to become even greater. That's what it is to be a human.